I'm back. Live video, you know, the whole thing. Walking home from work again. A little nicer today, so I'm really hoping you guys can hear me better, since it's not quite as windy today as it was yesterday. Anxiety's a little high today, so if you see me looking around all over the place, I enjoy doing these, but there's so many people around. I always feel like I look weird, you know, talking into my phone. It's been a long day. Woke up with a severe migraine this morning. And just, it leaves me in a fog all day. Doesn't matter what meds I take. Doesn't matter what I do. Just once I've gotten a migraine, trying to get out of a migraine, just leaves me off. Severely off. But like I said, probably keep doing these days I'm walking home, or just random times I need to get things out and vent. Yeah, the other one's got a decent amount of views, but I keep trying to remind myself that if I'm really doing this for me, then is it really that important how many views I get? Or is it more important that I actually get the thoughts out, and that at least somebody's seen it? That I'm not the only one, you know, who knows what's going on. Not that I have any idea what's going on. I never know what's going on in my head. Are you kidding me? This is my head. I never know what's going on in my head. Anyways, I was thinking a lot today, because I watched a bunch of videos on the whole, what's his name, the Harvey Weinstein or whatever, the movie producer that creeped on all these actresses, tried talking them into threesomes, or touched himself in a hallway in front of somebody, or whatever. I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, maybe it's just how I was raised. Maybe I was raised better than that. No, there's no maybe in that. I was raised better than that. You don't force stuff like that. And don't get me wrong. 18, 19-year-old me, I had no idea what I was doing with women. I had no idea how to handle myself around them. So, yeah, might have got a little pushy trying to, you know, kiss a girl, get close to a girl. But really, Weinstein, you're a powerful guy, and you're trying to do that? Why is that still okay in this country? Why in the world are we still allowing that to happen? All these women saying that, you know, it took them forever to come forward. Well, because nobody listens anyways. That's disgusting. The fact that there's all these women who've been harassed by all these men for this long, it's disgusting. Absolutely horrendous. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. And maybe it's just because, you know, I have a daughter, that I'm actually paying attention to this stuff. But I'm really hoping that, you know, I'm growing up, I'm maturing, I'm actually seeing the world for what it is, not just what I want it to be. That little phrase right there makes so much sense now. See the world for what it is, not just what I want it to be. I spent my whole life seeing the world how I want it to be, how I think it should be. I said yesterday, so many times when I was younger, I would just sit back, because everything's got to fix itself, right? Things can't stay that bad for that long. Like, it's a movie. Everything in my life was a movie. Things can't stay that bad for that long. things can't always go wrong. Things have to look up, right? Things always have to look up, right? That's the way the world works, right? If things are going bad for a while, something good will happen later, and it'll make up for all the bad things. Isn't that how the world works? I thought that was how the world worked. And then I started living my life that way, and realized that's not how the world works. That's not how the world works at all. Sorry, you see me keep spinning around there. Somebody was like following me, and the anxiety's high today because I'm tired and I had a migraine. Yeah. Anyways, where was I? I just ramble. Why do I ramble? I don't understand why or how I ever got my mindset into, if things are going bad, good things must happen. No, that's not right. I know how I got in that mindset. It's all over the place. It's in all the things we read. It's in all the stuff we watch. I mean, movies with unhappy endings never do as well as movies with happy endings. Why? Because we want a happy ending. We always want the happy ending. We want to know that no matter how much crap happens to us, there's going to be a happy ending. That if we just let things take their course, life will correct itself, and we'll be back on top. We'll be back in charge of our own lives. But that's not really how it works. I mean, if that's not a symptom of my white privilege, I don't know what is. Not even just white, but male privilege. Just privilege. Just that word, privilege. That's... So now that I realize, now that I'm woke, now that I realize all that, I look at the world and I'm disgusted. Why is the world this way? How in the world are we okay with all the women being harassed on a daily basis? How are we okay with minorities being put down, shunned? How are we okay with any of this? I don't get it. I don't get it at all. How anybody can be okay with a woman walking down the street and men screaming at her all the dirty things they want to do to her, how attractive she is. That's not okay. That's not all right. And anytime I look back and think about any time I've done anything similar, I'm ashamed. Like, completely ashamed. I'm walking up on people outside, and my anxiety is going to get to me. So I'm probably going to be a little quieter for a moment, just because, yeah. Give me 1 second.
So success, 2 for 2. But after that point, then
That's cool. Hold on, can I swap a camera? Yeah. I don't know if you can see it well, but the police are out here messing with really awesome looking drones. God, that thing probably costs more than 2 months rent, maybe 3 months rent. Oh, I want one so bad. And if my wife is watching, no, I know I can't have one. Okay. Oh, and yes, Pamela put, or how unattractive she is. Oh, yeah, definitely. That's one that I hate myself for. I can't believe I ever joked with people making fun of how unattractive somebody is. Like, and there's a difference, okay? There's a difference of saying, Oh yeah, I'm not attracted to her. No. And oh my god, that girl is butt ugly. Are you kidding me? I wouldn't touch her with... My favorite one is always guys telling you, I wouldn't touch her with your dick. What? Why? Ugh. Ah. I don't think there has been anything that has triggered more stress and more anxiety in my life than having somebody open my eyes to my privilege. And I only put the air quotes because it covers so much more than just the definition of the word privilege. But as soon as I had my eyes open to that, I started hating my skin color. I started hating my own gender. Not that I hated myself specifically. I mean, you know, I haven't always been a fan of myself as it is. But it's more the fact that why would people of my gender act that way? Why do the people of my skin color believe they're better than all the other skin colors? I mean, technically, my skin color is a lack of something. You know, melanin in the skin. We're white. And what do? We pay extra money to go someplace to get our skin darkened, so we feel better about ourselves. But then anybody that has the dark skin, we try to make them not feel good about themselves. I probably paused for a moment. I forgot to shut off an alarm. Anyways, hold on. How long feel like you have been to use woke? How long? And what was the process like? How long is not long enough? Probably only... Really? Since I had my oldest. Well, yeah, my oldest. Not my stepson, he's a year older. But when my daughter was born, I started paying more attention to the world around me and what was going on. I don't think I'm going to be able to cross this road here. Maybe. Nope, we're going to have to go to the corner. Too much traffic today. Anyways, and having a daughter made me start to think about all the things she was going to have to go through, and all the things as a father I was going to have to deal with because she went through it. And that just opened my eyes to a whole different world. Oh my gosh. Like I said, one of the biggest anxiety triggers I've ever had was having a daughter. And I grew up with brothers. I didn't understand what women went through. I mean, my mom tried very hard to instill in us to make sure we were respectful. My father instilled in us to make sure that we were respectful. I mean, don't get me wrong, my parents very against the whole, you know, rape culture, whatever it's called. Anytime. I remember when I was much younger, there was a girl in our class. I'm not gonna say her name, but we called her Crazy. And my father lit into me for it. And started to change my entire view on that. Started to change how I looked at all of that. It wasn't fair to make fun of her. The circumstances that made her the way she was nothing she could control. I was in the wrong for making fun of her. And this was only like 5th or 6th grade. And I started to see these issues. And it definitely changed how I approach things. Now, growing up, me, being the geek, nerd, quote-unquote loser that I was, as I got older, I got angry. I got so tired of all this male and white privilege that everybody said I had, that I never got to, cash in on. It never did anything for me. It never seemed to help me. And I definitely took that anger out on people. I mean, never physically. I wasn't violent. Too anxious to be violent. But the way I treated people, the way I acted around people, as I've gotten older, the number of people I've had to apologize to for how I treated them years ago, just to get my anxiety to calm down, so it stopped being the only thing I thought about at night, is the list. It's way too long. Yeah. I mean, there's some people I messaged apologizing for the way I treated them, and I had them, reply back going, I don't remember that. And I'm going, well, it's kept me up at night quite a few times. But I had to apologize. I had to let them know that I had no right to treat them that way. Just because I'm a guy, just because I'm white, I am the villain, often. And I was very angry about being the villain. Very angry about being the villain, because I'm not a bad guy. I've done bad things, but I'm not a bad guy. Sorry, that made me think of Wreck-It Ralph. Bad guy, not bad guy. Anyways, but I still had to come to terms with the fact that I am living with the mistakes of those who came before me. And getting mad about it and getting upset about it doesn't fix it. I can't just yell at people and tell them that's not me. Anger doesn't fix things. It may fix things short term. It doesn't fix things long term. But sorry, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. And like I said, that migraine this morning set me off, and I am so spaced. I'm sure I'm rambling in circles by now, but just trying to get it out. Hang on. Sorry, walking past people. It's always the only way to stop feeling like the villain is to be the hero. What do you know? What? Wait, what? I can be I can be a hero? I don't have to be the white devil? I don't have to be the evil guy? I can use my male white privilege for good? Yeah, you can. It's kind of what I'm trying to do partially with these videos. Let's get my thoughts out there. Kind of, throw it at the wall, see if it sticks type of thing. But I've been trying to do it in different communities. I either run or help run online. Different groups of friends. The way I teach my children. The conversations my wife and I have. Of, if I've got this privilege that I've never been able to cash in on, I might as well find a way to cash in on it. I might as well find a way to take what I'm doing, to take who I am, and help those who aren't that. If I'm a male in a male-dominated world, and I see all the absolute bullshit that the male-dominated world puts the females through, then isn't it my job to stand up and say, hey, don't do that. That's not right. Like you're being the bad guy here. I know you think you're the good guy, but you're not. And as a white man, and I am pretty dang white. I'm white. Just, yeah. Isn't it my job, then, when I see people treating non-white people, any race, doesn't matter. Whites seem to hate on all races. Not all whites, but a lot of us, apparently. Isn't it my job to speak up and be like, hey, don't do that. You're being the villain. The one that really gets me, the one that gets me a lot, is all these people that I know, they read comic books, right? Watch comic book movies, especially X-Men. Okay, are you following me? So people who read those comics and watch those movies and get so mad at the way the mutants are treated. They get so angry at the people in this fictional universe for hating on other people who are different in a fictional universe. And then the next day are posting things online about how we need to shut off the borders, stop immigration, how annoyed they were that the chick behind the counter at the gas station couldn't speak English up to where they thought the person should be able to speak English. Really? Really? You are mad at a fictional universe because they're making fun of people that are different, and then you turn around and do it in real life? Or are you only mad because most of those superheroes and mutants tend to be white? So you're mad that the poor little white kid with special powers that you wish you had is getting made fun of. But in real life, the girl behind the counter who speaks English, just not as well as you would hope, you're mad at her for not speaking English as well because she's from another country. From the same planet, with the same basic genetic code, same physical features, just slight differences, skin color, eyes, nose, doesn't matter what the race is, there's little differences. And those little differences are enough for you to justify how you treat them? Man, they did Captain America wrong. He was just trying to help. They shouldn't have to sign those accords because, all they were doing was trying to use their abilities for the good. They're just trying to help people. But God forbid somebody come over here to try to make a life for themselves in a country that screams how they're the home of the free, land of the brave. And you got to put them down for it? I don't know a better example to use. If that isn't the perfect example of how privilege works. You're allowed to go on the internet and say all you want about these other people and not go to jail. You could say all you want besides death threats. I mean, they take those seriously. Don't do those. You can say anything you want. And you're perfectly fine. But somebody who disagrees with you on whether Captain America was the good guy or the bad guy in Civil War, and it's on. Take what you're reading. Take those comics. Take it to heart. Replace mutants with every race that isn't you, and see if you still feel the same way about it. See if you're still okay with hating on those people when you try to look at them as you. It's still a little different. I mean, if you have a child and your child is born with one eye, right? They go to school, they got one eye. Everybody calls them Cyclops. What are you going to do? You are going to defend your child. You are going to demand that the school do something to defend your child. Some little black kid goes to school, to an all-white school, and everybody makes fun of him, and everybody puts him down because he's different, because his skin color is different. You still going to stand up for him? I know it's not your child, but you're going to stand up for him? There's no difference. But no, we don't stand up for him. We sit back and we think it's not our problem. Why should I have to deal with something? It's not my problem. I'm not the one getting bullied. It's not my child. Why should I say anything? That's what got us here where we are right now. We are where we are. We're in a country that, according to social media, is on the brink of a civil war. Because we have spent decades sitting back and saying, hey, not my problem. Not my problem. His issues don't affect me. So if his issues don't affect me, why should I have to put myself on the line for his issues? It ain't bothering me. I ain't go to bank and get a loan. Kidding me? I can go get a job. Must not be that bad. I mean, if I could get a job, he could get a job. He's just not trying hard enough. Really? Really, that's what you think the problem is? You think that there's this huge part of our world that just isn't trying hard enough? That just isn't doing enough to be up at your level? You really think that it's a legit excuse? That is a legit reason? Oh yeah, it's just because they're not trying hard enough. You know, if they went out and got a job, life would be better for them. They can go get a job. McDonald's is hiring. Why don't they get a job at McDonald's? Because getting a job at McDonald's, even if you work 40 to 50 hours a week, still isn't enough money to afford an apartment in Grand Rapids, where I live, Grand Rapids, Michigan, right? 40-hour a week, minimum wage job. Makes you a third of what it takes to live on your own. A third. 33.33%. Right? But all they gotta do is go get a job. Go get a job. They're just lazy. As a people whole, they're just lazy. That's just how it works. I don't know what to tell you. They've been lazy for decades. They just don't try. I mean, we gave them their own sections of the city. I mean, it just left them to themselves. They should make we made something work. They should make something work. Can you tell I'm really annoyed by people like that? Really, really, really annoyed by people like that. Oh, this thing doesn't tell me how long I've been doing this. Nope, 29 minutes. Are y'all sick of me yet? I say all. I think there's one viewer. I don't know. It says there's people watching, but then it doesn't tell me who does. I gotta figure all this out. Anyways, I'm walking up to an intersection and people are staring at me as I talk into my phone. But I'm rambling. I doubt anybody's gonna make it through the entire video. I do these with the kids I love my children so much. At Brazier Children on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's just the 3. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I don't use the Twitter as much. I should. My wife keeps reminding me I need to. I mean, if I'm trying to, get attention, get us out there. Oh, and there's a YouTube channel, but it's not add anything until you have so many subscribers, and I think I'm the only subscriber to their page. Yeah, it's a little hard to do. And I'm rambling right now because I'm walking past the gas station, and I don't want people to hear only part of a ramble. I think I'm making fun of somebody when I'm actually trying to defend them, because that would be really awkward. How am I doing on battery on this thing? Oh, phone might die before I get done. But alright, now I can go back to rambling. We, as white people, and for those we men, I say we, like everybody watching is white, although it is possible. It's not the point. People who are white and people who are male, we need to stand up. We need to stand up for those who aren't us. And yeah, if you do it wrong, people are gonna rag the hell out of you. You gotta help, not patronize. You have to be an advocate. You can't always lead. If you're good at leading, and you can lead without getting in trouble, without making it look like you're patronizing, without people thinking you're doing it for your own needs, then please, by all means, do it. But otherwise, if you got some good ideas, if you have any way that you know to help, if you're male and you have a way to help women, get women involved in that way. You can feed them all the ideas. Let them take the credit. But, be prepared. Because you cannot just feed them ideas the whole time. And then when they fail, go, it's on them. I tried. No. If it starts to falter, then you step up and back them up. Because there's nothing more powerful than somebody who already has those connections and that privilege backing up somebody who doesn't. Talked about that yesterday. It's hard to get anywhere in the world without connections. It's hard to take my ideas and my designs and all the things rolling around in my head if I don't have money and I don't have the connections. But I'm running out of air. I'm talking too much and walking. Whew. I work at the corner of Lyon and Monroe, by the way, and I'm right now walking up to the corner of Knapp and Monroe. I'm about halfway, so it's been about a mile and a half-ish. Anyways, backing up somebody is severely important. Severely important. Don't take the credit unless it's the only way for people to pay attention. And then, the entire time you are getting the credit, you pass the credit on to the other person. We're here to assist. We're here to help. We're here to make the world a better place. And we as men, and we as whites, cannot do that if we take all the credit for ourselves. It doesn't work that way. As soon as we start taking all the credit for ourselves, then we look like we're profiting off from their misery. We're trying to profit off of their issues. And that's just not right. Anytime I see some famous person on TV getting all the credit for helping somebody else, and they don't pass all the attention on to who they were helping, that bothers me a lot. I mean, I'm sure they love their children, but Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, it really seems like it's just an attention getter. It really seems like, hey, look at us. We got money. We're doing something. Pay attention to us. Or Bono. Bono and helping the little African children, or wherever it is he helps. No, you don't get to take all the credit onto yourself and profit from it. You were literally profiting off of somebody else's misery. That ain't cool. Oh, I got a phone call coming in. I might be back later.